welcome to another Best Junglers episode, this one for patch 14.23 as we head towards the end of season 14. Here's the thing, despite the end of the season coming up, we've had a lot of big changes and a lot of changes to champions over the last couple of patches. That doesn't always change things in the meta, but it does shuffle things around. In this one, we have changes to Collector, Yuma's Ghostblade bounties have changed again, and Kha'Zix has finally been nerfed. We will go over the best champions overall, as well as for low and high MMR, and to understand the best way to jungle so you can reach your ranked dreams by the end of the year, you absolutely must head, with all of the Black Friday and Arcane sales going on, to Virkayu.gg. Not only do I have a free jungle improvement resource, I also have a dedicated program with jungle video courses, jungle coaching classes, a jungle VOD library, special weekly content you'll see nowhere else. All of this available through a premium jungle Discord, which is highly active, a huge community that help each other climb using my jungle program and courses. As we have seen by everybody hitting their peak rank goals in Split 1 and Split 2 of Season 14 as fast as possible. So to climb faster than everybody you know and to jungle diff every game you play, to enjoy the Black Friday sales and Arcane sales with up to 90% off, head to the link below or to Virkayu.gg. And on the S tier page is Graves, because they keep thinking, hey, let's buff his systems, let's nerf the counters, let's buff Graves directly like they did many months ago. When they made Collector cheap, I was absolutely shocked. I couldn't believe that they made this item from like 3,400 to 2,950. Yeah, they removed stats, but honestly, it's such a ridiculous item, especially seeing as it builds out a BF sword. And now they were like, you know what, guys? Let's nerf this. We're gonna make it 50 gold more expensive. Seriously, that's enough. 50 gold more expensive. Absolutely outrageous. It's like having a Black Friday sales with 1% off. It truly doesn't matter. If you buy 2 control wards through one rotation as Graves, you know what? You're smart enough anyway. Just buy 1. Boom, you've saved the cash monies. Honestly, if you really are in tune with the game, buy none. I always tell everyone to always buy control wards. You must, it helps you visual confirm, it gives you obscene control on the map. And to this day, it's still true. However, as Graves, there's a lot of ways you can save 50 gold. There's also a lot of ways you can just earn 50 more gold. You know, I really wanted to base, but I think I'll just kill the enemy champion quickly. Or, you know what? I'll just stick around and steal his raptors quickly. Or, you know what? I'm just playing in the flow state anyway, and I don't even need to save 50 gold because I'll always have enough regardless. And then they nerf the utility on Ghostblade, but it's like, you know, what am I gonna build instead? I'm still gonna build it. It gives me huge advantages. The item combination is outrageous, and right games you have failed to nerf me. Now, I will say the win rate data has gone down. Obviously, nerfs do have impact. It just doesn't have impact in any way that removes him from being the best jungler in the game. Viego, though, his win rate isn't looking as spicy as it has done. He's had a lot of system nerfs, item nerfs, direct nerfs, but he's also had direct buffs and itemization shifts in terms of building Trinity Force and other such items. Ultimately, we don't need to speak about his itemization and rune set. I feel like there's a lot of obvious ways we can go, and we've spoken about that many times. It's just about his jungling. Viego capitalizes on being able to rotate the things very quickly with his E, and also just having such a great stun burst combo when you have element of surprise. So just stick to good jungle fundamentals, and don't be afraid to play for your 6. If lanes are looking doomed, you can't invade the enemy jungler, things aren't going your way, you can still play for level 6 in the first grub. But you can also look to use some kind of pressure pre-6. It's just really, Viego's about map reads, right? Being a smart jungler, knowing your snowball components, knowing that once you get your items, you can be really outrageous. Just realize when you need to apply the ganking pressure, the invading pressure, and the team fighting pressure. All those things will come into place, and you will snowball almost every game, and no game is unwinnable or uncomebackable. Lee Sin is broken if you have hands. Lee Sin is broken if you understand high-tempo jungling. If you don't understand those things, he's more mediocre, but overall, go watch a Smurf on Lee Sin and how quickly they move around the map. Fast clears, double scuttles, pressure gank, second sequence, boom, level 6, grubs in control, dragons in control, cleanup kills, dives. His kit is the best kit for jungling. Viego's really close behind him, but I don't think it's as close as people think. There's a reason Lee Sin is still the most popular jungler overall, despite being out this long. And yes, that's because his kit is quote-unquote overloaded. It has too much, it has a lot of things going on, and that just makes him super fun to play, super fun to watch, and really good if you can execute. That and the buffs they gave him and the fact that the items still suit him makes him goated. Oh no, the Kha'Zix evolved W. Oh no, it's going from 75% to 60%. Whatever shall I do when I'm trying to pick off an immobile? Oh wait, they die anyway because that slow still basically guarantees their death. Where the nerfs are more interesting to me is the base armor going down by 4. Now, it's not a big deal, but it does affect your HP early in those clears. It does affect you against meta junglers in terms of trades and fights early. But again, there's absolutely no reason why a Kha'Zix one-trick or Kha'Zix main is going and looking at these nerfs and thinking, my champ is ruined, how will I ever play? No, the champ is absolutely still fine, still one of the best in the game. Yeah, his win rate's gonna go down a little bit, but these are tuning nerfs. You don't go from OP to useless unless they do a systemic rework of you. This is just simply, hey, look, you're a little bit too strong, let's take away some power, so there will be a few champions that can kill you maybe in those close moments, or champions that, because of that 15% slow in the evolved W, they can actually escape. But in the majority of cases, champion good, champion chomp. And the Wukong buffs have seemingly done a very good job. In terms of throwing feces around the jungle, he is king. Although I just don't understand these weird buffs are always bringing Wukong back. I mean, Wukong Pro Play, Wukong Solo Queue. I remember 10 years ago in Season 4 when they really enabled this and everyone was streaming with Wukong. And I think that's a big problem with the jungle is, right, keep bringing back the same champions out of the loop into the meta. And the other ones that they don't like just get nerfed into oblivion a lot of times. So this is the cycle and the musical chairs we have. And yeah, the meta's change and sometimes we have, you know, unique scenarios where like a Mumu's at the top a couple years ago. But those are quickly fixed, and then things like Wukong come back. I can think 99% of us do not enjoy facing or seeing Wukong at all. It is boring, but if you want to win, that's not boring. So go ahead, pick Wukong, throw shit, win. Elise doesn't throw that, she throws something else at champions. And again, those nerfs didn't really matter a while back because the quality of life changes they brought to her. Honestly, I like to flame the balance team and the design choices this year because it's been absolutely the worst in my 10 years of covering this game. But the Elise changes were some of the best I've seen the whole year. Definitely ranking top 3 for me. Hugely beautiful feeling, strong power delivery, really took a champion that was a bit obscure, even though it could be effective, into something that felt great to play, objectively strong, doesn't satisfy the typical AFK farming full clearing. They really delivered on our power fantasy. Just don't do the level 2 invade nonsense, man. Like, that's very easily countered by basically any jungler with a ward and a brain. You don't need to revert to Bel'Veth cringeness to actually win games. Just do typical ganking jungler game plans, and of course you can have 7 CS per minute easy wins also. Champion's very diverse, very balanced in that regard. I say that and I faced 3 Elises, all who tried this level 2, level 3 invade nonsense, and I just reverse cleared them and they got literally nothing. And they lost the games for it, so. But Nocturne, whose shadow had dimmed and misled Virkayu into thinking that you were weak, he wasn't. I promise that's the last time I refer to myself in the third person. Jeb is still strong, Champ is eternal, a long way we bow down to his semi-global ultimate and his lethal tempo fistings when he invades us. If Nocturne were to be more popular and perhaps a little bit stronger, he would be my permaban just because he counters a lot of the champs I play, but I have to ban Graves because, I mean, come on. But overall, Nocturne is strong. You keep going your Strideberger, Hexplates, Derek's builds, you got the BC there, use the GA appropriately. You do have some electrocute one-shot builds I covered in the builds video a short while back. Again, that comes with a higher skill cap warning. If you go in, you will die unless you kill everybody. So do understand that power curve. And finally, Kayn. I know people are clamoring for buffs as always with this champion, but you kind of cry wolf on this because when he's one of the best junglers in the game, you demand buffs. I mean, when you're asking for buffs now, how does anybody know you're actually serious? Because you're not. Champ is fine. He's not stopping you from climbing. You can reach your goals with blue and red. I have people in the private Discord with the courses taking Kayn and getting to diamond with it, taking diamond and getting to master with it. We have Kayns everywhere. Him and Viega are by far the most I deal with in terms of educational content. Calm your minds, my friends. Kayn and Rust will be there for you always. And onto the A-tier page, Jarvan will also be here for you always. It seems this champion can never stay away. I look forward to the inevitable passive nerf, passive buff, passive nerf, and maybe even another passive buff. The next 2 years of his balancing are pretty much set in stone. Diana, the Moon Lady, one of these little underrated champions, but that's because I'm seeing people like Bone Void come and tell me in the Discord, hey, I'm rushing attack speed, it's better. Guys, don't do that. We got him on the blasting one rush with 850. Why would you not do that? It affects all of your passives, all of your spells, all of your burst damage. Everything you do is amplified, and a lot of things in early jungle are about that surprise fact. If you jump on people and burst them the hell out with a huge combo, they're going to be afraid to stay in the fight. And if you hit it properly, you do have 2 E procs to use, yeah? So the spell damage is critical for you to actually exert dominance over the enemy jungler in snowball games. And then of course you have Lich Banes and Death Caps and Zhonya's and Banshee's Veils and Void Stuffs. Not really that one, but you know, you can really do a lot of things after those 2 core items if you want to go that instead of perhaps doing a regular Nash's build without the Lich Bane. And as the snow is now falling, the snowballs are rolling as Nunu and Willem arrive into your lane and obliterate you. And when you think you're a jungler who has to match their tempo, you will lose. Let them do their thing, figure out how to cut them off. It's like the Batman animated show from the 90s. If someone goes a long way straight and going around somewhere else, you know exactly where to cut through to meet them up and cut them off. Don't follow them, you won't be able to match it. Although that's not quite true because Batman could match it, he's just saving himself time, but you know, you understand the metaphor. Karthus, he exists, he farms, he presses R and he gets some kills. That's the meme. It's it's also still true. While a good Karthus isn't only about that, there is nothing more frustrating than actually destroying a Karthus by a level or two. Everyone gets low from one dive, and boom, the guy gets 3 stacks of harvest and 3 kills. Just remember, if you have that pressure on him, as best you can, keep it up. Don't let him get scaling, because again, the AP ratio nerf from the ultimate doesn't do much, but it does a little bit, and his level 6 ult really isn't that high. So try and keep yourself in the situations, be mindful of, hey, we cannot play to the limits as much, we mustn't get as low as much, just don't give him the opportunity to press the button, to take my own advice. Next up we have is Hekarim, and he runs fast, and he hits hard, and he's unkillable, and his win rate is pretty good, and the champion sustains a lot, and he's a lot stronger early than you think. And I'm really glad people have forgotten a little bit about him, because I don't want his play rate to go up. Echo Champion Gameplay Special, I put one up on the gameplay channel to showcase, look, this champion is still 1v9 and strong. I'm here to confirm that he is 1v9 and strong. Remember, in these metas where we start to get to the end of the season, jungle actually reaches a good place before Freak and everybody destroys it with pets and other things. You've got full clears, you've got invades, you've got quadrant ganks, you've got, ganking junglers that are strong, farming junglers that are strong. That's when Echo's win rate starts to climb up, because he does a little bit of everything really, really well. He's not the best ganking jungler, he's not the best farming jungler, but he is the best counter-ganking jungler. And like Viego, once he starts to snowball the point-and-click nuke bombs, no one's outsmiting him and ADCs are always dead. And now we can enter the final phase here with the auto-attack cringers. We're gonna start off with Bel'Veth. Look, she's not played as much, she's definitely weaker than she was, but her lavender stacking is good. Play more for, hey, how can I get level 6 on first grub? Do the clear I promoted many, many months ago. It's still the best clear in the game as a baseline. I'll leave a link to that in the description, because if you can get 6 on the first grub, you're getting true form already there. Now we elevate and apply a shit ton of pressure and take over the game. Master Yi has been strong. Nobody likes this champion. I can't believe people are like, I miss those days when the champion was strong. No one likes it when this champion is obnoxiously strong. But they buffed his attack speed up, so that will only take over from level 11 onward. Nothing changes pre-level 11, but when you can't exceed the attack speed cap, be mindful of your build and where that's going to actually end up. But in the events, and most of the time you will not be at level 11 full build, you should be able to dominate most games with this buff if you can translate, 14-minute, 50-minute level 10/11 into that nice mid-game spike by 22. Really great wins and snowball components there. And of course, that does make him very, very strong on low elo, but I'm not going to include him on the low elo page because I included him in the main body. And that's also just because I want to focus on some of these more healthy options for you. Again, Master Yi is good here, but Nocturne, Warwick, and Mumu, these are all goated picks for you to learn how to jungle and actually become good at the systems. When you're good at the systems, you can try other champions, and that's how you climb the diamond quicker. Oh no, they nerfed Teemo's clear speed. Doesn't matter in low elo, you weren't clearing efficiently anyway. No offense. But it also means that most people, when they want to play this champion, you have to be a little bit more proactive than AFK farming, and that's okay. It's okay to incentivize this. A good teamer will survive this. And obviously the Briars and the Viegos are great here as well. I'm keeping the Shyvana. While the previous nerfs didn't work, and I explained in my private patch and the rundowns why, because they nerfed the 2 things you don't use very much, and they buffed unholy amounts the thing that you use all the time. And that was a problem. When you're trying to nerf a build, you can't compensate buff in anticipation, especially to that degree. And in so, she's just as strong as she was beforehand. But when the last round of nerfs came through, we said, hey, you know what? Let's stop with the hybrid, let's stop with the AP. I'm pretty sure Drain Tank and Fighter with Trinity Forces and Blades are gonna be good. Guess what? They are good. So if you're in low elo here and you like the sequencing and playing around 6 and objective control with split push, this is even better. Because the Q has double ratios, go for your on-hit builds with Blades and Sterak's and Trinity Forces and Stride Breakers, whatever AD tech you want to go for. Of course, we also have the Blade and the Iceborne if you want to go Drain Tank. But basically, forget the AP. They've nerfed the ratios now again. That's definitely made it a little bit weaker again. But the all AD tank focuses, Fighter, Disruption, Dive, those are good. You're unkillable, ADCs die, and so do turrets. For high elo, Graves is at the top. Nidalee has suffered a little bit in the general population, but she is still one of the best, if not the best 1v9 jungler if you have the jungle knowledge and if you have the mechanics. That unfortunately is the reality of the champion, and it's okay. Viego and Lee Sin are obviously going to be mainstays here. The Skarner nerfs, I said they were not enough to take him out of this particular elo range or pro play. He still does a lot of damage and he's still unkillable. But in the general population where you need a bit more damage to kind of control the narrative of your team and actually win fights with swapping targets on squishies and peeling, and yes, that nerf has hurt him just a little bit, but in high elo, he's still absolutely fine. Elise also great, Hecarim amazing, and Rek'Sai. Could put Bel'Veth, could put Karthus, could talk about the Rengar buffs, because for Rengar OTPs and mains, gonna be insane. Huge buff on him. Keep an eye on it. That's why I'm saying his name. This is how we'll know in the comments if people actually listen to what I was saying. But Rek'Sai is, without a doubt, looking very good. You know why? Because Elise and Rek'Sai usually go hand in hand. really strong ganking application and quadrant clears, high pressure. If one works, the other usually does unless they are specifically weak. Elise is doing well on high elo. Rexa is doing well on high elo. Same playstyle, my friends. Go get it. But obviously on these champions, you need to know how to close out quickly and understand the macro, otherwise you're gonna get outscaled. Video on your screen now teaches you all you need to know.
I have to say, truly, it taught me everything about being Rost. I took over the skies, the moon, and the soul of an e-boy because of this video. It gave me the greatness necessary to become Ascended. Click on the video now. Do it. Learn like Rost. Become a Darkin. Click it. Watch it. Click it.